For centuries, the Zorthan Empire had conquered star systems like harvesting wheat. No resistance ever lasted long, not the cryogenic monks of Zal, not the crystalline minefields of Drox's Prime, and certainly not the pacifists of Kaloon. Their rule was swift, efficient, and brutal. So when a fringe human outpost near the edge of the Orion Arm refused to pay tribute, the Emperor barely raised a brow. Earth, he scoffed, has no fleet, no allies, no standing among the stars. Let this be a lesson to other primitives. Fleet Marshal Korzek, commander of the 9th Imperial Armada, grinned as he stood aboard the bridge of the Oblivion Lance, his flagship a dreadnought so massive that its shadow darkened moons. Send the declaration of war, he said. The message, laced with contempt, was simple: surrender or be eradicated. They expected groveling. What they got instead was silence. And then, Earth replied, a transmission raw, unencrypted, and voice in a human dialect that baffled Imperial translators came through. Only one phrase was fully understood. Protocol 0 activated. Marshal Korzek raised a brow. What is Protocol 0? The AI struggled to interpret. The phrase had no precedent in the galactic lexicon. Then, a lower-ranking officer stammered, "Sir, it might mean total war?" The Marshal laughed. Against us? He gave the order to proceed. Hundreds of capital ships, tens of thousands of fighters, and millions of ground troops began warping toward Earth's system. 2 minutes. After arrival it was over. No energy weapons were fired from Earth's surface. No grand fleets rose from the human planet. Instead, the moment the first Imperial dreadnought exited warp, it disappeared. Not explode, just vanished. Its signal blinked out like a candle in a storm. Then, in rapid succession, dozens of ships followed. Warp gates collapsed. Communications jammed. Eye systems shut down mid-function. Gravity shifted around them, and weapons disarmed themselves. Panic erupted. "What is happening?" Korzek screamed. "Sir, something is folding space-time around the fleet. Entire sectors are vanishing. We're losing contact with..." And then Earth spoke. Not through voice, not through image, but directly into every mind aboard every ship. "You declared war. This is your first and final lesson." Korzek fell to his knees, blood pouring from his nose. So did half his crew. The other half just stopped breathing. 1 second later, every single ship in the fleet detonated, not with fire or shrapnel, but with silence like they had never existed. Only one escape pod was left, drifting toward the moon. Earth. 3 hours later, President Eleanor Cade stood in the black chamber beneath the Andes Mountains, staring at the shimmering sphere that pulsed softly in the air. Behind her stood Dr. Huari, one of the only people alive who fully understood what had just happened. "Is it done?" she asked. Dr. Huari nodded. Protocol 0 initiated the exosingularity defense net. The Empire's fleet triggered a recursive folding algorithm. To them, it looked like we did nothing. President Cade exhaled. And the prisoners? Only one survivor. Their fleet marshal. Currently unconscious, isolated, and unable to form coherent thought. Cade turned. "Wake him. Let him see what Earth truly is." Zorthan Imperial Council 1 week later panic ruled that no contact had been made with the invasion fleet. Not a single. Probe returned. All warp lanes near Sol were now dead zones, inexplicably unnavigable. Time itself refused to function correctly in those regions. Worse, the Empire's archives spanning millennia had been scrubbed. Every mention of Earth, humans, or Sol had been replaced with 2 words: "Do not." And then the broadcast started. A human face calm, composed, and strangely confident appear on every Imperial screen. It was President Cade. "Your Empire made a mistake," she said. "Earth does not seek conquest. We seek peace. But if war is brought to our doorstep, we do not fight back." She leaned closer. We erased the threat. The transmission ended. Somewhere on a moon in the Sol System, Fleet Marshal Korzek was still alive. Sort of. His mind had been rewritten, memories jumbled, thoughts fractured. He spent his days muttering in a language only he could hear, trying to draw stars with his fingers in the dirt. Occasionally, he whispered one phrase over and over. They didn't fight back. They just ended it. Galaxy-wide transmission. Classified level. Omega Black subject. Earth Sol System threat rating. Beyond scale status. Non-interference mandated directive. Do not engage. Do not provoke. Do not observe. Do not approach. Reason. They erased the Zorthan Empire in under 90 seconds. Cody name. Death World Prime.